Good afternoon. In today's session, we have to start our second unit, that is a baseband digital transmission. So here we want to see about the multiplexing. Multiplexing is the process of combining multiple signals into a one signal over a shared medium. It means what? Here we are supposed to combine multiple signals into only one signal. So we can say there are two types of multiplexing, analog or a digital. If we are talking about the analog, we can say the process we can call as analog multiplexing if the signals are analog in nature. But in our syllabus, here we are supposed to study about the digital multiplexing. So we can say if digital signals are multiplexed, we can say that type of multiplexing as a digital multiplexing. And multiplexing was first developed in a telephony. It is a technique which allows us to send multiple signals over a single data link. It means what? Here we are supposed to combine number of signal. So a number of signals were combined to send through a single cable. That process we can call as a multiplexing. And the process of multiplexing divides a communication channel into a several number of logical channels, allotting each one for a different message. So we can say that device which will do multiplexing, we can say that device as a multiplexer, or we can say simply as a mux. So in simple words, we can say sharing of a medium between the multiple signals that will done by process multiplexing. So here we are saying that device as a multiplexer. So we can say that device which will combine multiple signals into a single or one signal. We can say that device as a multiplexer. The reverse process, that is nothing but the extracting the number of channel from one, which is done at the receiver. Because when we are doing the process of combining multiple signal into a one signal, we will do that process, that digital multiplexing at a transmitter side. But here we are supposed to do the communication. We are supposed to transmit the signal. So at the receiver side, exactly vice versa process will happen. It means what? Here extracting the number of channels from one, which is done at the receiver side, we can say that process as a demultiplexing. And the device which will do the demultiplexing, we can say that device as a demultiplexer. So we can say it is a device that separates the multiplexer signal. We can say that device as a demultiplexer, or in short you can say that device as a demux. So here the following figure will illustrate the concept of multiplexer and the demultiplexer. You can see here when we are sending the multiple data, you can see at the multiplexer side. We are sending here multiple data to the multiplexer. It will select one of that data and it will give to the demultiplexer. Again, it will separate that multiplexer signal at the output of receiver. It means what? At the output of demultiplexer. So here now we can see there are different types of multiplexer. So we can say multiplexing types. So firstly, there are mainly two types of multiplexer. We can say these as a analog multiplexing and a digital multiplexing. But if you see, these are again further divided into analog. You can divide it into a frequency division multiplexing, FDM, or wavelength division multiplexing, WDM. Again, if you see in our syllabus, we are supposed to study about the digital multiplexing. So here if you see digital multiplexing in our syllabus, we are supposed to study about the TDM. It is a digital multiplexing. So we can say time division multiplexing will be calling as a digital multiplexing, but it is again subdivided into two types which we are supposed to study. These are nothing but synchronous time division multiplexing and asynchronous time division multiplexing. So firstly we will see about the analog multiplexing and a digital. What we are saying about the analog, which will involve the signal that will be analog at that time. We can say that process of multiplexing as a analog multiplexing. So here these analog signal are multiplexed according to their frequency or according to their wavelength. If they are multiplexing according to the frequency, we can say that as a analog. It means what? Analog data are continuous and that will take continuous value, and that will depend on a frequency or a wavelength. So if you are talking about the FDM, it will say the FDM will transmit data that will be depending on a frequency signal. It means what? If you are doing the multiplexing according to the frequency, we can say that as FDM, and this technique uses various frequency to combine a stream of data for sending them on a communication medium as a single signal, because they are only selecting one of multiple signal. So you can take example like a traditional television transmitter, which will send number of channel through a single cable, which will uses the FDM. Again, there is another type of analog. We are saying that as a wavelength division multiplexing. So it will be also analog multiplexing in which many streams of different wavelength are transmitted in a light spectrum. If wavelength increases, the frequency of signal will decreases. But here if you see a prism which can turn different wavelength into a single line, we can be used at the output of mux and the input of demux. If we are talking about one example for the demultiplexing, at that time, if we are talking about the example for the WDM, that is the wavelength digital multiplexing, you can take optical fiber communication, which will uses the WDM technique to merge different wavelength into a single light for the communication. Now we are supposed to study about the digital. So we can say digital data have discrete states and that will take discrete values. So signal can be analog or a digital. If this is the digital, you can say that type of multiplexing as a digital multiplexing. So we can see about the digital multiplexing. What we are saying about the digital multiplexing? The term digital represents the, so in the TDM, the time frame is divided into a number of slots, because here in digital multiplexing we are supposed to use time division multiplexing. So we can say that technique will use to transmit a signal over a single communication channel by allotting one slot for each message. So of all of TDM, the main ones are two types. These are nothing but synchronous and asynchronous TDM. We will see one by one thoroughly. Firstly, we will compare analog and a digital signal. What we are saying, if the signal is analog, it will have continuous value, as you can see, which will look like a sinusoidal. And if we are talking about the digital, that will have value that will be 1 or a 0. It means what? It will have discrete value. So here, when we are talking about the analog, we are saying we are supposed to study about the different types of multiplexing. Like in analog, we are supposed to see about the FDM and the WDM. It means what? If we are doing the multiplexing, that will depend on the frequency spectrum. We can say that as a FDM. So here, when FDM will use the multiplexing, at that time we are supposed to select one of multiple signal that will be dependent on the frequency. So here you can see the waveform when we are using the telephone at that time. When we are talking, the signal that will be. Here you can see the waveform for the carrier frequency F1, F2 and F3. In this way, we are when transmitting the signal at that time from multiple signal. It will take one signal at the output. It means what? When we are using the frequency division multiplexing at that time, we are supposed to do multiplexing. We are supposed to select one signal out of multiple signal, because we can use FDM in the telephone companies. For small distance, for low cost cables were utilized for different such system, such as you can take as a K and N carrier. For the Bell system, they don't like huge bandwidth. That's why this analog multiplexing is used to unite analog signals. And this type of analog multiplexing is useful when link's bandwidth is better than the united bandwidth of the transmitted signal. So here you can see the two signals with the same amplitude, but which we are having the same amplitude and the same phase, but they are having different frequency. So here we can transmit the data. So in FDM, signals are produced by transmitting various device modulated carrier frequency, and then these are united into a single, or we can say a solo signal, which can be moved by the connection. So to hold the adapted signal, the carrier frequency are divided by sufficient bandwidth, and these ranges of the bandwidth are the channels through the different traveling signals. This can be divided by bandwidth which is not used. And the best example of the FDM, if you say you can take the use of FDM in the TV, as well as you can take the use of FDM is in our day-to-day life in a radio. Now we can see about the WDM, which we are using in the fiber communication, optical fiber communication. So here we can say it is also an analog division multiplexing technique, but here we are supposed to combine multiple wavelengths of an optical signal to transmit in a single optical signal. So you can say it is also a type of analog multiplexing. The most useful concept of the WDM is it can be used in a high capacity communication system, because at the end of transmitter section, multiplexer we are using to combine the signal, as well as we are using at the end of receiver section demultiplexer, because for dividing the signals separately. The main function of the WDM at the multiplexer is for uniting various light sources into a only light sources, and this light can be changed into a numerous light source at the demultiplexer. So here you can see the waveform, the diagrams for the WDM. Here when we are using the WDM at that time, you can see at the transmitter side, we can say as a transponder. We are taking TX, transmitter. So we are using here 4:1 mux and 1:4 demux. So here we will take the input that will be depending on the wavelength. So from these 4 wavelengths, it will select the one out of these and it will give to the demux. It means what? From multiple optical fibers, we are selecting one single optical fiber at the demux. So the main intention of WDM is to utilize its high data rate for the fiber optic communication, and the high data rate of this fiber optic communication is superior to the data rate of the metallic transmission cable. If you see theoretically, the WDM is similar to the FDM. Apart from here, we are doing the data transmission through the fiber optic communication. So here now we can see about the wavelength. Wavelength is nothing but it is the measure of distance between two identical peaks. You can take high points or you can take low points. So we can call that as a wavelength. Now we want to see about the digital multiplexing, which is executed in our syllabus. So here we can see about the time division multiplexing. It is the one method for transmitting a signal over a channel of particular communication with separating the time edges into a slots. So here, like a single slot we can use for each message signal. So TDM we can say that will be used as a digital multiplexing. Here every transmitter is assigned a time slot to transmit its signal. So we can say TDM is mainly useful for digital as well as for analog signal, in which several channels with low speed are multiplexed into a high speed channel used for the transmission, depending on the time slot. Because here we are supposed to transmit the signal, but here we are giving the time slot to transmit its signal. So depending on the time, every low speed channel will be assigned to exact position wherever it works in the mode of synchronized. So both the end of mux and the demux are synchronized timely and at the same time which towards the next channel. So we can see about the diagram for the time division multiplexing. Here we are using the multiplexer at the transmitter side, and at the receiver side we can use demux, which will reconstruct our original signal, which will separate that signal, one signal which we will get from the output of mux into a separated signal. So here there are different types of TDM, that will be synchronous TDM, asynchronous TDM, interleaving TDM, statistically TDM. But mainly we are using synchronous and asynchronous TDM. So we can see about the synchronous TDM. Here, as the name given, synchronous means what? Here time will be synchronous. It means what? Time slots are fixed. Each source is given its time slots at every turn due to it. This turn may be once per cycle or several turns per cycle. But if it has higher data rate, or maybe once in a number of cycle if it is slow. So this slot is given even if source is not ready with the data, because here we are saying time slots are fixed. So this slot is transmitted if there is no source to be ready to transmit. We can say that slot as a transmitter empty, or we can say transmitted empty, because here time slot is already fixed. You can see the diagram for the synchronous TDM. Here we are taking four different AA, BB, C, DDD. So here we are supposed to transmit the data, and here we are giving time slots. These are fixed. So here each source is given its time slots at every turn due to it. So we can say the synchronous TDM will take the connection of input as a frame. So here we are taking different connections. Like if we are taking AAB, you can take n connections in a frame. Then we can separate that frame into a n time slots. Like you can see here, we are taking here 4 frame. So we are separating these into a 4 frame. Frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4. You can see in the diagram. So here we are saying we are separating that frame into a number of time slots. And for every unit, each slot is assigned to every input line. So we can say in the sampling of synchronous TDM, the speed is similar for every signal, as well as the sampling needs a clock signal at both end of sender as well as at the end of receiver. So in this type of time division multiplexing, multiplexer assigns same time slot for each device at every time. Now we can see about the asynchronous. As the name define, here time slots will not be fixed. So we can say in this method time slots are not fixed. They are allowed dynamically. They are allotted dynamically depending on the speed of sources and whether they are ready for transmission. But in the synchronous, if they are not ready for transmission, at that time also we are taking that as an empty slot. So now here we are saying, here we are not fixing the time slot. So we can say in a asynchronous time division multiplexing for different signal, the rate of sampling is also different. And it does not need the clock signal. If device has nothing for transmitting, it means what? If it is not ready to transmit, then time slot is assigned to a new device. We will not assign time to that device which is not ready. And the design of commutator, otherwise decommutator, is not easy because the bandwidth is low for this type of multiplexing and it is applicable for not synchronous transmit. It means what? Here if you see the diagram for the asynchronous time division multiplexing, if we are taking the 4 different signals A, B, B, C, D, D, at that time you can see here you will supposed to transmit that data, but here we are not assigning same time slot. So for the different signal, here the rate of sampling is different. So you can see in the synchronous we will supposed to give same time slot. So here you will get firstly A, after that frame 2, but here we are not assigning the same. So you will get here data that will not be synchronous. So here because we are not taking the same time slot, we are giving different time slot to a different signal. So the rate of sampling will be also different. Now again we are saying there are 2 different types for the time division multiplexing. These are nothing but synchronous, asynchronous के साथ और 2 है. These are interleaving and the statistical. These are not in our syllabus, but we will see in shortly. Interleaving TDM, it means what? The time division multiplexing can be imagined like a 2 speedy rotary switches on the multiplexing and the demultiplexing. It means what? Here we are supposed to use the switches. These switches can be rotated and synchronized in the reverse direction. Once the switch releases the surface of multiplexer ahead of a connection, then it has a chance to send the data. Similarly, if we are releasing the switch at the surface of demultiplexer, so here is a chance to receive a unit from the lane. We can say that process as a interleaving. So we can say that process as a interleaving time division multiplexing. And another is a statistical time division multiplexing. The statistical time division multiplexing is applicable to transmit different types of data simultaneously across a single cable. This is frequently used to handle data being transmitted through a network like LAN or a WAN. The transmission of data can be done from the input devices which are connected to the network like computer, fax machine, printer. And the statistical TDM can be used in the setting of telephone switchboard to control the call. It means what? This type of multiplexing we can compare to dynamic bandwidth distribution. A communication channel is separated into a random data stream number. It means what? Here we can transmit different types of data simultaneously across a single cable. So we can use this type in a LAN or a WAN. Now here we have finished about the multiplexing, digital multiplexing. We are supposed to study synchronous and asynchronous TDM for the baseband digital transmission. So we can say the application of multiplexing are analog broadcasting, digital broadcasting, telephony, video processing, telegraphy, because here we are using the different types of multiplexing. We will see remaining in the next session. Thank you.